Welcome to our rule highlight video for Columbus Recreation and Parks Adult Basketball Leagues. This video is available to provide information on specific rules and responsibilities for captains and players. Our leagues have grown tremendously, and we now have one of the largest adult basketball programs in the nation. Thank you for your participation in our program. Please pay close attention to the material in this video, and remember, it is your responsibility to share this information with your teammates. We offer 4 divisions of play for men and an open division for women. A is the highest and most competitive division for men, and D is the lowest. Teams choose where to play based on their appropriate skill level. Former college players are only permitted in the A and B divisions. Any former pro players are only permitted in the A division. Check league rules for a complete breakdown of divisions and eligibility. All team captains are required to submit an online roster prior to their first game. When league schedules are posted, you will receive an email with information on submitting your initial roster. Rosters can be updated at any time throughout the regular season and can include up to 15 players. All roster submissions and changes are done by logging onto the Quick Scores website. Always be sure to add players to your roster before they play in a game, not after. If a player participates in a game without being on the roster, he or she is considered an illegal player. CRPD leagues use Ohio high school rules with a few modifications. Games are 2 20-minute halves with a running clock. The clock only stops in the final minute of each half and during timeouts. Teams are permitted 2 timeouts per half. The complete adult basketball rulebook is located on our website. CRPD uses a score-out rule for all C and D leagues. This rule is in place to limit the scoring of individuals and keep certain players from dominating games in these lower-level leagues. Player point totals are capped based on what league they choose to play in. Once a player scores out, he can continue to play in the game, but he is no longer able to score points. CRPD enforces jersey rules for all adult leagues. Teams must wear similar colored jerseys. All players are required to have a screen-printed number. Tape or markers cannot be used to make a legal number. If a player does not have a proper number, they are assessed a uniform technical when they enter the game, and the opposing team is awarded 2 points. A uniform technical is also awarded if a team has 2 players with the same number. Please review the full rulebook before registering for a league. Familiarize yourself with all of the rules and procedures listed here, and contact the office if you have any questions. Players must gain eligibility in order to participate in postseason games. Players must be on a team's active roster and participate in at least 4 of the 8 regular season games to be eligible for the postseason. Stats pages are available online for captains and players to view and track point total and games played. For postseason games, all players must check in with a photo ID prior to playing. If a player does not have an ID present, he or she will not be permitted to play. Occasionally, teams do not have enough players to play on a particular night. A forfeit is declared when a team fails to show up to their scheduled game without notifying the sports office. A default is when a team calls the office by 4:30 p.m. on the day of their game to notify us that they are unable to play that night. Both situations result in a loss, but a default can preserve playoff eligibility and can also prevent a team from being removed from a league. This also allows us to notify the opposing team. There is an expectation when you participate in our leagues that all teams, players, and spectators behave in an appropriate manner that fosters a family environment. Respect for one another is the key to this policy. Violations of the policy will be dealt with severely, quickly, and not necessarily progressive in nature. Although handled on an individual basis, there are disciplinary guidelines listed in the online rulebook. Please be aware that as a team captain, you are directly responsible for cooperation with the office into any investigation directed by the sports office. If a player is ejected from a game, that player is suspended from all CRPD leagues and facilities for a minimum of 1 week. Severe infractions can result in suspensions of 1 year in length or longer. As a captain of a team, you're responsible for your players' actions. If a team records 3 technical fouls in a single game, the game is automatically forfeited and further action may be taken against the team. If you need to contact the sports office for any reason, we can be reached in a variety of ways. The office phone number is 614-645-3366, and office hours are Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Our website is located at columbusrecparks.com. Feel free to reply to any emails sent to you by the program supervisors throughout the season. We also provide updates on our programs via social media.